We begin in the Caribbean. The former Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Sir James Mitchell, says if the Ralph Gonsalves-led government wants to replace the London-based Privy Council with the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, it should use a referendum to decide if the opinion of Vincentians has changed since 2009. In that year, Vincentians rejected in a referendum proposed changes to the constitution, including replacing the Privy Council with the CCJ as the nation's highest court. Sir James has long been an advocate of retaining the Privy Council. Organizers of the Miss Jamaica World Contest are pointing to a global trend of natural beauty for a number of dark-skinned contestants in this year's pageant. Aston Cook, the co-franchise holder of the pageant, told a Jamaica Observer that most of this year's 16 contestants boast an Afrocentric look. He'd said there is a revolution taking place in the global pageant world and Jamaica hasn't escaped it. In the past, organizers and judges of Jamaican beauty pageants have been criticized for selecting light-skinned winners and runners-up. When Joan McDonnell won the Miss Jamaica World title in 1978, sporting a natural hairstyle, some of those critics believed that the contest had broken new ground. But in the last 20 years, many have questioned the credibility of these pageants based on the fact that most of the winners were light-skinned. Counting has begun in Zimbabwe in the first election since the removal of the former president Robert Mugabe, a watershed vote that could welcome the country back into the international fold and spark an economic recovery. The election is a two-horse race between 75-year-old President Emmerson Mnangagwa, a longtime Mugabe ally, and 40-year-old Nelson Chamisa, a lawyer and pastor who is vying to become Zimbabwe's youngest head of state. Mnangagwa is viewed as the front-runner, though the latest opinion polls showed a tight race. There will be a runoff on September 8 if no candidate wins more than half the votes. And finally, India will place phones and posters advertising helplines in children's homes after more than 30 girls living in one home were raped, the Women and Children's Minister said on Monday. A measure campaign is dismissed as inadequate. Maneka Gandhi tweeted that she was deeply anguished by the rape of 34 young girls by staff at a government-funded home in eastern Bihar state, a case that had caused nationwide outrage since it was uncovered last month. But Anand Kumar Astana, a child's lawyer who advises homes on legal compliance, said phones and helplines were not the solution, calling the case a glaring example of how pathetic the system is.